Hello everyone, it's Christine here and we're going to be continuing with combination stitching in this session. So we made the beautiful little apple blossom flower, which is a combination stitch where you're basically using multiple stitches in the last session, and we're going to be making a combination stitch bud. So this bud is going to use a combination of couching, whipping and straight stitch. And they're suggesting the use of 2-ply crewel wool for the petals to use shades of pink wool, and then using some silk thread to work some highlights, but I'll just probably use some regular cotton to do that. So I've drawn myself a little design with the stem and then the bud, and we can broadly stick to that. So I've got my 2 strands of crewel wool. This is a vintage Appleton crewel wool. It's a hard word to say, crewel. And we're going to pop through at the start of the stem, and then we're just going to let that thread just lay on the surface, because we're actually going to couch the thread down. So I'll just put my needle to the side. I've then just got the regular sort of green cotton, which I'm using in the place of the silk thread. It might actually even be a silk. I think it's probably a synthetic, but it's quite nice and glossy. So we're going to bring it to the front, just over this side of where we want the stem to be. So I'm just going to pop it up just slightly into where the stem is. It's just got a knot tied on the other end. And then we're going to do some couching stitches. So we're going to just take it across to hold the thread down, basically. That's what couching is. So we're going to pop it over just to the other side of the thread and put a little stitch in, and if you can see, it's just holding the thread down. Keep dropping little bits and pieces from somewhere. So then I'll just pop up a bit further up the stem, pop the needle out, and then I'll position my wool and just pop my needle down on the other side and hold the thread down. And then again, equal distance sort of up the stem, popping the needle out, and then just popping it down on the other side. So we're just holding down the thread, holding down the wool with the little stitches either side. Just move it out of the way so I can see where I need to pop up. And then just popping down the other side. Okay, keep going up the stem. So as you can see, it just holds your thread, and it's great to use with thicker. If you've got something that definitely can't pass through the fabric but you want it on your piece, couching's a great way to incorporate all sorts of threads into your stitchery. I think I'll just do one more, so we'll keep going up to about, maybe just one more to the bottom of the bud. Do it to there. Okay. Okay, and then I'll just tie that off at the back, I think. one more little knot there, I think, just to be sure, Okay, take that off. So we've still got our stem thread there. Now they want us to use another thread to whip up the stem. Now I wonder what colour I could use for that. I've got a slightly darker one here which I could use. It's just one I think I was using in one of my stitcheries. Darker green. So it's just sitting on my desk, so we could probably give that a go. So again, we just want to tie a knot in the end, and we're going to be coming through from the back, and then we're going to be passing it under the other stitches, if we can do that. See how we go. So we're going to pop up to the front, just between where the start of the stem is and that first couching stitch. Oops, did I not? Oops, didn't bring the right end through. That wasn't very good. Just pop up about there. Okay, and then we're just going to slide the needle under the couched thread above B. So we're just going to put it slightly under, and we're just going to whip the actual stem itself using in between those little couching stitches that we've put on. I was thinking at first it was asking us to actually whip the little couching stitches, but no, it's the stem. So you get just a nice little wrapping and a bit of different colour, I guess. So it's just about adding details. All about the details. And I'm just going to pull the stem a bit more so that the couching stitch can just be nice and tight on the stem. And so with couching, we're just, sorry, not with couching, with whipping, we're just passing our thread under the wool, under the stem, as it were. So then when we get to the top, we're going to leave the threads hanging, okay? Lots of threads hanging on this particular piece, no tying off as we do it. So next we're going to do the inner bud petals. So I'll just put that needle away, and I might grab one of my thicker ones. And so I think we use the darkest pink that we've got, or what the darker colour that you've got. So I'm going to use this pink, and this pink for mine. So I'll use this one to start, which is like the double, it's a double ply really to begin with. So I don't think I need to double this one up. So it's the one I was using on my little apple blossom. Always find I just use what I've got close at hand. Tied a knot in the end, although it just slid off the end, didn't actually tie. Sometimes the wools are a bit hard to use that technique. You're better just to do a hand done knot at the end. Okay, so I'm going to bring my thread to the front, just down here, and then I'm going to take a stitch down from the top of the bud to where I had my thread. And then we're going to work stitches like we were on the previous one, just to form our bud. So it says work about 4 to 5 more stitches. And we'll just lie them down on either side of the central stitch. Just do that trick that they taught us to get it nice and plump, of just putting the needle underneath. down on the other side. Do another one on this side, again just plumping it out. And again, you just do the stitches until you're happy that you've kind of got something that's covering the area that you want. I think maybe one more on this side will do the trick. Again, I'll just make sure it's plumping. And then I think I might still need two more on this side. Oops. Yeah, I think just one more on that side. I want to do one more there. We'll let it have one more on that side, and then we'll do one more on the other. Let me just do the little plumping trick though. Beautiful. And again, just putting the needle underneath, sort of letting it just help to plump out your, but it's really lovely and dimensional. So once we've done that, we're then going to change the thread. So we'll take that thread to the back and finish off with it because we don't need that thread anymore. I can just pass that under and do a little knot. It's quite thick on the back too. Put that in my little orts jar. And then I'm going to change to the next lighter Appleton wool. I might just use a single strand of this. I think that should be fine. Oh, it's a little bit thinner. I think it'll be okay. Just need to thread it by folding it over itself. Sometimes makes it easy to thread wools. Yep. Okay, so we're going to keep those threads out of the way, and then we're going to bring to the front, just left of the base of the inner petal. Okay, so we're just going to bring it up just slightly left to the base, so over here, just where the stem sort of is. And then bring it back down from about the right side of the petal, approximately 2/3 up. So just about there, I guess. And bringing it back to where the thread was. And we're going to do 2 or 3 more stitches there. So again, just the same hole and just that layer, allowing the thread to layer. Now I just noticed I've managed to skewer one of my bits of this wool, so I'm just going to pull this. Actually have to, sorry folks, just skewered my wool, so I'm just going to pull it through so it's not skewered. Going to keep that out of the way, and I'll just need to re-thread my needle. Okay, so we're going to work our second stitch the same way through the same holes. Let's just pull the end through. And then a third stitch. Might just do one more, I think, just to give it a nice little bit of go. Keep leaving the tail too long on that one. There we go. Okay. Again, just plump it all out. So then I'll take that to the back. tie that off. Okay, snipperoo. Keep that piece of wool because there's plenty of that left, and then we'll just get our lighter one. Don't know if this is a hand-dyed one. Also not sure if it's an Appleton wool or something else. It's a feels a bit sort of, I don't know, a bit softer than the Appleton wool. Or a bit fluffier maybe, not softer. Okay, have to try threading it this way rather than on the end. Oops. Just that little bit harder the wools, because sometimes you just don't have that easy bit to thread through. It gets a bit caught. There we go. Okay, and so now we're just going to bring our thread to the front at the bottom again, and then we're going to take it about 2/3 of the way just about, yeah, similar to where it was on the other side, and just bring it back down. So we're just working these little petals, or sorry, yeah, the petals over the other side of the flower, the bud. So again, just laying them down like we did with the first one. It's a lot lighter than the other one, but that's okay. Might just work one more. Go. And then we'll take that to the back. And now we're going to rethread the needle with the laid yarn, so with our stem yarn. So we'll leave our whipping thread there, but we'll rethread it with these 2 bits of stem. I just need to trim those little ends to make it a bit easier. There we go. And now we're going to take the thread to the back at the base, pull our ends through, and then we're going to re-emerge at the top of the bud. And then we're going to work 2 straight stitches on each side of the petals. So straight, but I guess they're going to curve around to form like the sepals are what they're calling them in the book. So we'll need to just position them so they sit down at the side of the flower. So you can just use your needle just to sort of position it down and just hold it in place so it actually sits where you want it. And now we'll work the ones on the other side. So it's a straight stitch, but it's a curved straight stitch. And again, just helping it to just fall where you want it to fall. because the bud's quite dimensional, it actually sits really well once it's in place. Great, so we've done our little sepals, not sure how they're said. And now we're going to work 3 straight stitches over the top of the petals to complete the sepals. So we're just going to do 3 little stitches. Just at the base. And 1 more. Again, you can just do what you think you need. What I need is that my needle doesn't keep unthreading itself, but such is life. First world problems and all that. First world problems that need a trim again, clearly. So I hope you're having a great day or a great evening. Oh goodness. Honestly, what's going on here? I only managed to get one of my threads through. How can that be? Let's just have to get this one to the back, then I'll have to rethread at the back. Goodness gracious me, Christine. Okay, so now we're at the back. Just rethread with the 2 of these troublemaker threads. Okay, do I need to do any more of, I think that's all. I think, oh, maybe 1 more. Do I tempt fate? Let's tempt fate and do 1 more. It's hard when it's so thick with the stitching. Okay, keeping that out of the way. And now we're going to re-thread the couching yarn, take the needle to the back and re-emerge here. Okay. And so we're now just going to do the little sort of bump that comes below where the flower head is. So just some little straight stitches to create a little bobble. Okay, that's given us our little bobble. So I think we're done with our stem and stem thread. So I will tie that off, cut that off. And now we need to use our whipping thread. And then we're just going to work a few stitches over this bit, the calyx. So we'll take it to the back, our whipping thread to the back. So that's what we use to whip the stem, and we're going to just do some little stitches over this little bobble here. 3 straight stitches over that. Like this. And 1 more over it. And then we're going to work 8 to 10 straight stitches over the petals, just sort of coming up from the base. So again, just adding some little accents. In the book, they've used more of a sort of a yellowy colour, which I don't think would work as well because it's kind of meant to be like the little bits of the flower that come up around the bud, the green. So I think green is a good colour to use for your whipping thread and for this bit. Just do a few more. Maybe one this side of the bud. I reckon that's almost right, I think. Now they're suggesting they want us to put some little further stamens out the top of it, but I think I'm just going to leave mine as I like it as a bud without anything else poking out of it. But otherwise, yeah, you'd bring the needle to the front at the top, and then you'd work 2 fly stitches, one long and one short, each with anchoring stitches. So you'd just have your little Ys coming out like this. But I like the look of it like that, so I'm going to leave it as is. And hopefully you like that as well. It's sweet little bud, very dimensional. Lots of interesting detail in it, and just showing you how you can combine your stitches to make things. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for bearing with the wool and the challenges, and I'll see you back soon. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye.